Welcome back to the Kerrnel Does 80 Days. We're on day 21 on the Trans-Siberian Railway, and we are on our way to Vladivostok. And we have a date with Goland, the mathematician, and Monsieur Fogg thinks that we're planning an escape. I'm meeting someone. Monsieur Fogg's eyebrow twitched in a manner of his, but he said nothing, returning to his newspaper. I breathed a sigh of relief and hurried from the cabin to meet Goland on the viewing platform of the train. "You came," she said. "I am glad." "As am I." She looked at my eyes for a moment, then smiled quickly. Taking my hand, she walked along the edge of... Ooh, maybe we got a romance brewing here. Taking my hand, she walked along the edge of the rail, the wind tugging her hair into a wild dance. The train's lamp was a single candle in an endless light. Lifting my hand past her cheek, she pointed my finger out into the desert. There. I saw nothing except evening stars. I shook my head and Golan laughed. "There," she exclaimed. "How many stars do you know that move?" She was right. One gleaming dot on the dark horizon was lifting upwards. Golan squeezed my hand. "That star is the Garuda launching," she replied. "It flies at night to keep it a secret, but now you know it." "What is the Garuda? Thank you for entrusting me with it," I replied, and she nodded. "You seem an honest soul." Oh, let's get mushy. "I shall hold it in my heart," I replied with gallant sincerity. "I hope so." Her dark eyes flashed with hot anger. A moment later, she stood on her tiptoes and leaned forward, and I took a step back. Why is she angry? What did I do? She stood on her tiptoes and leaned forward. Out there on the deck of that remarkable train, with the endless Russian night bitterly cold, the lady of the steppes kissed me. Oh, my lord. Character is now bright. Yeah, I bet. I bet. Little romance brewing on the Trans-Siberian Express. You are most entertaining, Passepartout. Converse. The lines are thick here, and other trains pass ours frequently. Some are filled with settlers, and others with soldiers packed into 5th and 6th class cars so closely that I wonder if they can even breathe. I saw a darker train go past. Metal cars with iron gratings seemed to cast shadows as it moved. It was a prison train bound for nowhere. The criminals aboard were simply carried backwards and forward across the mountains, always moving, never stopping. What? Saw children's faces held up to the light. The prisoners are allowed to take their families with them. Whether that is mercy or worse punishment for a good conscience, I cannot tell. Agreed. Oh, I didn't even get to wait. Wait. Famous dancer seen in Novorossiysk, heading for Tehran. Yeah, okay, we already knew that. Irkutsk. We crossed the halfway mark of our journey today. In the morning, we wound up in the Angara Valley towards the mining camp of Irkutsk, the great city of Siberia, where some passengers were leaving to join route south into Mongolia. We waited while the luggage was unloaded by leisurely porters and rough-clad mujiks until the whistle blew and the train's engines wound up once more. Our journey continued, and by afternoon we had reached a magnificent expanse of Lake Baikal, as clear as the finest crystal, bounded by flower-banked cliffs on the western shore, and containing a thriving, raucous population of freshwater seals. The track ended at the lake's edge, but the great train showed no signs of slowing or stopping. I began to feel, as my master would say, a little perturbed. Now, my friends, this next sentence will seem to you the invention of a madman. But I assure you it is utter, unvarnished truth. We drove straight from the shore into the clear water of the lake, causing barely a ripple. I looked out of the compartment window and saw the wheels pulled up, and zura lor! The train was hovering in the air through some unseen mechanism. I looked for the tracks, and could only just see them against the gleam of the lake. They were cunningly built upon pontoons, which only just broke the surface of the water, though we did not touch them. What sort of train was the Trans-Siberian? From the window, I watched families working at their fields, dressed in colors bright and as harlequins. Red and blue bodices and bright bandanas, which they pulled off to wave at the train. People are wonderful. They live somewhere bleak and then make themselves colorful instead. Indeed. Alright, we need to take care of Mr. Fogg here. Superb. There is little to report of the outside world, so a word today on Russian eating habits. More specifically, the Russian distaste for regular meal times. I met a fellow Frenchman today who said to me, "The Russian meal is a guide to the Russian character." I begged him to explain further, and he obliged me. The guiding principle of the national cuisine is that all dishes must be capable of being served at any time the eater feels disposed. He sacrifices his finer susceptibilities to his love of freedom. I resolved to keep this thought in mind on future approaches to the dining car. If our locomotive suppers are not triumphs of culinary art, they are at least signal examples of logistical achievement. Let's converse. Greetings, Madame Pavlichenko. May I see your ticket? How I despise your job. My job. This job. Oh, man. Vladivostok. The Chinese population clashed with the Russian troops recently, I heard. Uh-oh. Let's check Hong Kong. Nope, there's no way from Vladivostok to Hong Kong. You mentioned boats. Childhood sweetheart had a wonderful time aboard the Hispaniola from Havana to Port Royal. I don't really care about the southern hemisphere, though. Canton? No idea, but now... Canton was once the only Chinese port open to foreigners. Huh. Kerrnel. Let's take care of Mr. Fogg. Pulled into the Kerrnel at noon from Kerrnel. It was possible to branch onto the Chinese Eastern Railway to Beijing. Wait. To Beijing. No, stop. I want to zoom in here. So I think... Oh, I'm passionate. I think this is Beijing here, or maybe one of those. I know this is Vladivostok, I think, down here. And Hong Kong is there. Quit moving. Alright, and we took advantage of the... No, we don't want to take advantage. We had further to go aboard the Trans-Siberian. Yeah, that's right. Pyongyang, okay, so I did have it right. Monsieur Fogg conceived of a desire to read an English newspaper in the morning, and so I resolved to track one down, to make my master's journey more comfortable. It was not a simple matter, however, as most English periodicals were banned or heavily censored by the Tsarists. I stole a copy from an English merchant while he was negotiating the mixed-sex lavatories. Negotiating? The mixed-sex lavatories, which I pressed and then presented to my master with a flourish that evening. Awesome. Phileas Fogg attempts round-the-world adventure. Hey, we're getting famous. Well, I guess he is. Not us. Oh, we reached Ussurisk today. Vladivostok, the final destination on the Trans-Siberian Railway, is accessible only to military officials and those with special dispensation. Being neither, we bribed the provodnik £200 Do we hide our... Oh, man. What do we do here? Well, we're not going to hide ourselves because I don't want to get caught. Are we going to bribe or disembark? Is this going to put us in jail for days? It's also going to cost us money, too. Let's disembark and see what our options are, because we can always continue. Found ourselves lodgings for the night before contemplating our onward journey. Oh, we didn't get refunded that money. Well, that's crap. Seems we can complete our cold climate set here for protection against the cold. Hooded cloak. Urban traveler. Let's try that. Yokohama? We're not going to Yokohama. Cold climate. Oil paints. I'm not sure if we're going to get to Hong Kong or not. Urban traveler set. Skulking around in... You know what? Let's get rid of that. Move these. And... get the Ushenka. I mean, if we don't need to buy an extra freaking luggage, then let's not. And I don't know if we're going to San Francisco or not, but let's keep it just in case. Okay. Our completed rushing should protect against the cold and help us negotiate times of Russian journeys. Let's explore. Nikolsk, Ussurisk have been a sleeping little trading village on the banks of the Razdolnaya River until the Trans-Siberian. The town now displayed all the signs of a hasty expansion. Steam electric plant churned still signs of the past remained. Steam electric plant churned relentlessly to charge the trains in the few electrified government buildings and was operated somewhat incongruously by tribal women with long hair and necks weighed down by silver trinkets. There was little to do in Ussurisk apart from bargain with fishermen for transport to Vladivostok. A task made significantly more difficult because we did not have official papers allowing us entry to the military port. Mr. Fogg was convinced it was merely the matter of offering the right price. And a rather profligate approach, and I was of a similar mind. I'm thinking... yeah, let's agree with him. We could ill afford any more delay. Relations with Fogg has strengthened, because I got your back, baby. I got your back. So we still don't... what is this? Oh. What? I don't want to go to Yokohama. But Yokohama... could get us to Honolulu... oh, disaster. Where's disaster? I really don't... I want to get up to Gastown. Is there nothing up there? Maybe I need to go back to this place. I think that's probably what I need to do. Right? Alaska... I mean, Gastown is there. Maybe I just need to... fisherman's boat. I guess we need the fisherman's boat before 1 p.m. Yeah. Alright, so let's hit the hotel. Before going to bed, I buffed and shined my master's pocket. I spent a few hours polishing. I went out to explore a little and found a cheerful Russian artist who was searching for a dog. Which I located near a dog kennel. The artist thanked me, and as we talked, remarked that some buyers will pay well for fur coats from Hong Kong. I assured him we were unlikely to head that way. To which my friend laughed. I can't see why you're on this trip at all. He's got a point. He's got a point. Alright, let's embark. I can only take 3 with us? Oh, man. Alright, so... It's a fishing boat, that's why. So let's go to the market. Let's get rid of this. Urban travel, we're gonna need that. Top hat. Safety harness. Let's... Oh, man. This might help in heavy weather, though. Engineer. Let's get rid of that. Fur-lined boots. I don't think we're going to need them. Traveling cloak. Pressure gauge. Don't need the timetable anymore. Fur coat. You know what? I think we're going to need this stuff. Cold compress. Top hat. Traveling cloak. Hooded cloak. We just got this. Part of the Urban Traveler set. Russian gentleman. You know what? Let's get rid of the fur cloak. And let's move this up here. What? Let me do that. There we go. Alright. Is it 1 o'clock yet? Yeah, of course it is. You gotta be kidding me, man. Departs tomorrow. Crapola. Alright. Alright, let's hit the hotel. We'll pass the night. Made ourselves comfortable for the night, and I washed and hung our linen. Let's explore a little more. And to my surprise, came across a tired-looking English gentleman and his valet begging on the side of the road. I inquired into their misfortune and learned they had been traveling around the world and fallen victim to heavy thefts. My heart went out to them, of course, and I gave them... Oh, man. 200 pounds. To get them back on their feet, and then I tipped my hat and moved away. Your funds have gone down by a fair amount. I don't like that. Alright, let's depart. Go. Man. Didn't want to spend that money. We made our way to Vladivostok in a small river and small and rather battered fishing trawler. It was an abomination, which established itself quickly as my watchword for discomfort. The fishermen were friendly enough and tried to engage Mr. Fogg in conversation. I redirected their attention toward myself. I don't want him to get bothered. Intuiting that my master had no desire to converse with locals of any persuasion. So why even travel? I guess it's just the challenge, right? Greetings, Shavos. They are biting today, I hope. Vladivostok. Be careful in Vladivostok. There are rumors of a war with Japan. Oh, no. All I'll say is this. You can buy wax cylinders inscribed with music in San Francisco. You can sell for profit in Regina. Maybe the option is to go from Vladivostok to San Francisco and then up the coast. I think we're done here. Alright, the fishermen seemed decent enough sorts. Eager to talk of their wives and children and grateful for our coin. Our payment was the only reason they chanced the harsh punishment for transporting foreigners to Vladivostok. They would gain, and so would we. They were happy enough to chance prison for profit, given their poverty. As it was, we sailed into the Golden Horn Bay by cover of dusk and disembarked in the military port of Vladivostok without attracting undue notice. Well, that's good. I don't need that. Alright, let's go to the market. What do we got? Nothing in the market. That's fine. Let's go... We're going to need the bank. We need to also do some exploring, I think, here. Let's... Oh, no. At 11 a.m.? Oh, well, let's wait in the hotel. The military port of Vladivostok looked out over the calm black water of the Sea of Japan and was populated largely by sailors of the Far East Fleet and a mix of Chinese, Korean, and Russian residents. I visited Matroskaya Sloboda, Sailor Town. I was curious about the foreign residents. Oh, I guess we could do either one of these. But I think we'll do that in the next episode. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you have any comments or suggestions on the series or anything, please feel free to leave them below. And until next episode, please do take care.